Since crime is the new black entitlement, that's just the first step. The second step is we have to surround this new entitlement with lots of rules and regulations that would stop black people from exercising their new entitlement, i.e. crime being the new black entitlement. Now, at this point, if you've been watching these videos for a while, I think you have a hint as to what's coming up next. But if you're new to this channel, if you're new to these videos, you're probably saying, Colin, you're making that up. That you're exaggerating for dramatic effect. Nobody, Colin, nobody is saying white people, black people, old people, young people, gay people, straight people, Amish people, Eskimo people, kitties, puppies, turtles, and goldfish. Nobody's saying we should take away their right of self-defense. Nobody, Colin. Well, we've actually had a couple of those cases in the last couple days. Why don't we start with a state senator from Arkansas who is telling people that because white people are constantly going around shooting black people for no reason whatsoever, we cannot allow Arkansas to allow its citizens to have stand your ground laws.
It doesn't take much to look on the local news every night and see how many black kids, black boys, black men are being killed with these stand your ground defenses that these people raise. Then they get off. So I take issue with that. I'm the only person here of color, okay? I am a mother, too.
And what about in Sacramento, California? The head of the Black Lives Matter movement up there says, hey, she's not only not down with stand your ground laws and letting white people defend themselves, she's not down with the cops, she's not down with not dialing 911, she's not down with anything that would allow anybody to defend themselves when black people are exercising their new right, i.e. crime is the new black entitlement. Doesn't sound right, does it? I mean, doesn't really ring true. It doesn't make sense that a community leader would get on television and they would let her say these things as if she were serious, as if it were real. Oh, it's real.
So I think it's good. I mean, I consider myself an abolitionist, so I don't think that we need the police. I think that the community can do very well protecting itself. So I think that it's a step in the right direction to stop making it. I mean, you've seen the police have been called on people all over the country for really stupid reasons, and sometimes it ends up in people getting killed. So to eliminate that, just don't call the police.
Yeah. I know it's not here in Sacramento, but do you think it is something that would divide us more, or could it send the right message, or what do you think?
I don't think the things that we do have the power to divide us. I think that people are already divided. People have already chosen a side. It's gone on so long and it's been so public in the public eye that people have already decided who they're with. So I feel like it's not going to divide us, but it is going to protect us.
And lastly, just when it comes to emergency calls, though, I mean, could it be dangerous if someone doesn't call? Like, what if they sincerely need help and, you know, like in this situation where maybe police can help them?
Well, I think as a community we need to build a structure and put it in place so that it replaces the police, and do this in a way that doesn't emulate what we currently have, because the way that it's happening now doesn't work. So I really believe that, yeah, there could be situations where somebody actually needs help, but if it's medical attention, then you call an ambulance. If I've had my car broken into, call the police, they didn't do anything. It's always after the fact. Sometimes they're rude. So it's just, I really feel like we just don't need them, but we definitely do need things in place so that we can rely on each other instead when situations arise.
And this all stems from what? A distrust, a disconnect? What does this stem from?
I mean, there's a long history of the police and what they're meant to do, and they're doing what they're supposed to. So yeah, there's distrust, there's also anxiety, there's fear. I mean, they're killing us in the street, and it happens regularly here in Sacramento. So there's fear. Okay,
so we know white people are roaming the countryside looking to shoot black people. We know cops are doing the same thing. They all get away with it. The black bodies are piling up from all the white people, killing them all the time for no reason whatsoever. That's the fairy tale. Why don't we deal with a little bit of reality here?
A man walks into his Atlanta home and comes face to face with an intruder. The homeowner goes for his gun and shots are fired. Fox 5's Denise Dillon joins us now from APD headquarters and picks up the story from there. Now, Denise, was that homeowner hurt?
No, not injured, but startled and surprised to find a man inside his home. He told police it all happened so fast, he doesn't even know how many shots he fired.
In this neighborhood, I'm not surprised.
There have been a couple of break-ins?
Break-ins, stealing, mostly.
Jimmy Thompson lives on Arthur Street in Southwest Atlanta, right across the street from this home that has been renovated and is now up for sale. Police say this morning the homeowner walked in to check on things and found a stranger inside.
He noticed that the door was open and a man came out of the room yelling and screaming. The homeowner took out his firearm, fired shots because he felt like his life was in danger.
Police say the homeowner fired several shots and the man escaped out the back door. He had been shot in the leg, but it only slowed him down a little. He ran close to a mile away to this home on Cooper Street. He knocked on the door asking for water.
Told him I wasn't going to give him no water. And the little dude walked down the street with him. He was on the phone with 911. So he told me when I went around the house, he told me he got shot.
Police pulled up within minutes. The man was bleeding from his leg. His name, Calvin White. It didn't take long for detectives to figure out White was the same man who had broken into the home on Arthur Street.
We are charging him with criminal trespass.
Jimmy Thompson has lived here 60 years and says nothing surprises him anymore. He says the homeowner did the right thing.
And nobody ain't got no business on that property but the homeowner. That's private property. You know, when he walked in, he was scared. He did the right thing.
Now, almost everything we do on this channel is new. Last couple days, last week. This one somebody sent me. It's a couple years old, but it's so perfect. You guys got to see this one.
It was just instinct, man. It happened so quick. I didn't want to shoot him, but when I saw him swing around so fast, I didn't want to get shot either.
That's what a customer who opened fire on a would-be robber inside a dollar store told Fox 10 News last night. Well, tonight, the family of that suspected thief is lashing out.
Now, last night, you heard exclusively from the customer who stepped in to rescue store employees that were held at gunpoint. Well, the family of that man says he shouldn't have got involved.
Fox 10 News reporter Andrew Perez has more.
From his hospital bed at USA Medical Center, 18-year-old Adric White waits for a jail bed. The teen already has robbery charges hanging over his head from September. On Tuesday, officials believe White struck again, but this time was different.
He had the gun to his head. He had him on his knees. I drew my gun on him and I said, "Hey, don't move." At that point, he swung around, and before he had a chance to aim the gun at me, I fired.
A customer who we're not identifying was shopping at the Family Dollar on Stanton Road when he says he saw White holding employees at gunpoint. The customer pulled out his own gun and fired 5 times. While police say it was completely legal, White's family says they're angry.
If his life was not in danger, if no one had a gun up to him, if no one pointed a gun at him, what gives him the right to think that it's okay to just shoot someone? You should have just left the store and left and went wherever you had to go in your car or whatever.
Originally, we had interviewed White's parents about the cases, but they later called demanding that we not air it. 2 robberies in 2 months. We asked one relative her thoughts about the accusations.
We don't know. Like I said, we don't know anything. We only know what we've been hearing secondhand through the news, so I would not like to comment because I don't know.
As he recovers from his gunshot wounds and prepares for what's to come, the Baldwin County District Attorney's Office is filing to have his bond revoked. They want White kept in jail and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Now, White's family told us that he was hanging with the wrong people and needed help. They believe he didn't deserve to be shot. His last alleged robbery was at the original Oyster House on the Causeway. Officials say he even had the same M.O.
Last night, Miami-Dade police say the D.A. Dorsey Technical College student burglarized a home south of 79th Street near I-95, just blocks away from where he lives. Detectives say the 54-year-old homeowner was alerted of the break-in by her security system. With officers already on their way, she rushed home to check things out, and police say she was armed.
She observed a subject exiting the home through the rear.
According to detectives, there was a confrontation and 1 shot was fired. Johnson was pronounced dead at the hospital.
Hey, what's wrong with her? She did not have to shoot him. There's no reason that she should have waited until after he walked out the yard to try to shoot him. She called the police already, then why would she shoot him?
Relatives say they don't believe Johnson stole anything from the home, but detectives would not confirm that.
You have to understand, you have to look at it from every child's point of view that was raised in the hood. How he gonna get his money to have clothes to go to school?
All right, shall we go back to the future? This just happened.
Yeah, Guthrie Pruitt is a survivor, and tonight he told me how these two men stole his money but never broke his spirit.
I was afraid they was going to shoot me.
Early in the morning on February 16th, Old West Barbecue owner Guthrie Pruitt was getting the restaurant ready for the day when suddenly he heard a knock on the back door.
And as soon as I unlocked the door, they shoved that door in, knocked me on the concrete, and then they grabbed me and dragged me into the office. And they kept saying, "Where's the safe? Where's the safe?"
Pruitt says they stole $3,000 from the safe and then went back to him.
They dragged me back through the restaurant to the walk-in freezer and put me in there and shut the door.
Pruitt says he still shakes from the attack and worries they might come back.
Got a real bad bruise right here. That's the arm he was holding on to.
Pruitt tells me he has had someone break into his restaurant in the past, but never so brazen as these thieves. He says he is thankful to be alive and isn't going to let this incident stop him from living his life.
I will never open the door unless I know who's outside. Only way they'd get in would they'd have to kick it in.
And from now on, he says he's ready for any kind of trouble.
And they don't want to do that because I'm ready for them this time.
Now here's another look at the suspects responsible for this robbery. If you know them or have any information, call the Minden Police Department.
Hey, that old dude that was robbed by some black person, that's not really that big of a deal. That happens all the time. And now the people in Sacramento and the people in Little Rock, they want to take away whatever little right this guy had to defend himself. Oh, nice. Hey, we're just getting started on this magical mystery tour. Why don't we head over to Clarksburg, West Virginia for a robbery? Hey, what's up, my brother? What's up, young fella? Why did they put a $650,000 bond on you? You know why? Because you convinced this 20-year-old white kid to come to your house to buy some pot, quarter pound of pot for $650. Listen, if you can talk a white kid into going into the hood with $650 to buy some pot from somebody he doesn't even know, you're wasting your talents, dude. You're going to spend the rest of your life in prison. You should have been out there selling cars. You should have been out there selling something. Instead, this kid's dead. You're going to prison. That is, unless somebody on the Black Lives Matter is on the jury, then who the hell knows what will happen. Oh yeah, that's a thing. You didn't know that? That's a thing. Black people tend not to convict black people of the charges presented. That's a thing. And just because we're throwing things around here, why don't we go back to Little Rock, the home of that, where the first person on this video was speaking. This had just happened the other night. Had a little argy-bargy. Three people got killed. 3 black people were killed, and a little boy was injured by one of the fellas. Guess there was some disrespect going on. And Little Rock, disrespect, penalty for that is death.
Please, sir, I want some more.
I mean, how many of these do you want? How many? Give me a number between 1 and 1,000. That's how many there are. That's how many times every day in this country, at least, where people are thinking maybe it's their last thought. Their last thought just might be, damn, why didn't I have a gun? How did I put myself in this position where I'm looking down the barrel of a gun and I can't do a damn thing about it? Well, if that woman from Sacramento has her way, and if that woman from the state senator from Arkansas has her way, that temporary state of affairs for some people is going to become a permanent state of affairs for everybody else. Hey, if that's okay with you, go ahead. Enjoy. At least it won't make the black kids angry.